Can you hear me? No, it's not actually. Again, I put the file name random walk application, not exactly random walk application actually. So this is kind of again basic sometimes permutation combination application also. Okay. Look at here. There is one Berkeley question is there. The elasticity of a rubber band can be described in terms of one-dimensional model of polymer involving n molecule linked together end to end. He has drawn diagram like that. Either molecules which are joined end to end like this. Let me take this one as a molecule. Okay. So molecule will have one tail and head, isn't it? Let me assume like that. Okay. Let me assume molecule like that. So molecules are what you call joined end to end like this again. So this end to other end again. So head of one of the molecule will be attached to tail of other molecule. That's how they may bond with each other. Okay. So wait a second. Let me read the question again. The question is, the elasticity of a rubber band can be described in terms of one-dimensional model of polymer involving n molecules linked together end to end. Is that okay? Linked together end to end like this. Okay, like this. It can link like this. So there are n of such molecule. Each of this arrow is one molecule. Okay. Yeah, I think this is problem from YK Lim. Yeah. Wait a second. What I am thinking is, yeah, each of this arrow is a molecule. Is that okay? Let me assume like that. The angle between successive link equally likely to be 0 degree or 180 degree. I mean, so if you have one link, one molecule, okay. So second molecule that can be either like this or it can be like this. Is that okay? If second molecule, if it is attached like this, angle between them is 0 degree. If second molecule is, if it is attached like this, again from head of first molecule which is attached to tail of second molecule, if it is 180 degree, it will be like this, and it will be equally likely to be either 0 degree or 180 degree. Are you getting the question whatever he designed? No, same direction, okay, only one direction, even though it looks like it is shifted downward, okay, but they are of very thin, so that it's a one-dimensional problem actually. It's a one-dimensional random walk. The whole story is one-dimensional random walk, okay. Now look at the question, okay, this question is asked in exam actually. So I hope you got the idea. Now show that the number of arrangement that that a given overall length L is equal to look at here, L is equal to 2m into d, okay. Total length is equal to 2m into d. Total length is equal to 2m into d. So what is the number of arrangement that gives this total length? You have n links, okay, like this, n molecules, n molecules like that, okay. So total length is equal to L is equal to 2m into d. To get this total length, how many possible ways are there? How many possible ways that we can arrange those molecules so that you get total length is equal to L is equal to 2m into d? How many possible ways? Okay, later we call that one as states actually. How many states are there? Corresponds to this length like that. Okay, that state will decide entropy. Entropy, again, from entropy we can derive a lot of things. So that is the idea actually. Okay, so that's why. Now how to model this one? Now look at it. This is exactly same as, again, very similar to our random walk problem. Again, how many number of ways that again for x is equal to m into L. Let me take x equal to m into L. Okay, so so to get a person at x equal to m into L after n step, okay, after n step, to get a person x equal to m into L, how many possible ways are there? How many possible ways that he can get into this position? So again now look at m. M is equal to n2 minus n1. Am I right? M is equal to n2 minus n1. How many possible ways? Again, not n2 minus n1, n1 minus n2, isn't it? N1 minus n2. Okay. How many possible ways of, again, if there are n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left, he will be at x equal to m into L. Am I right? Now, how many possible ways of taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left? Okay, you should find that possible way here. How many possible way of taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left? What is this one? Out of n number of steps, n1 steps are one type, n2 steps are other type. This is the number of possible ways of taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left. This was our binomial coefficient, isn't it? That binomial coefficient is nothing but number of possible ways of taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left, so that n1 minus n2 is equal to m. I call this one as, what is this one? Omega. Omega. I call that one as omega. Number of possible ways of taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left. Okay, I think I have mentioned in the last session, isn't it? So while discussing binomial coefficient, isn't it? I think that you should know what is that binomial coefficient stands for. So this one multiplied with p power n1 q power n2, that gives whole probability. But this is number of possible way. Okay, this is number of possible way. So now obviously you can write this one in terms of m, right? N factorial divided by what is this one? N plus m by 2 factorial, n minus m by 2 factorial, isn't it? Now look at here. Here this is number of possible ways of getting him at x equal to m into L. Okay, after n step, number of possible ways that he can get into that position. Similarly, what is the number of possible arrangements of this molecule so that you get total length is equal to 2m into d. Okay. So now you should write it like this actually. 2m into d. You should imagine that one as some integer, isn't it? Now let me take it like that. So there are n1 links aligned 0 degree with respect to x axis. Let me take x axis like this. Okay. So there are n1 links aligned with 0 degree to the x axis. Okay. So there are n2 links aligned aligned 180 degree. Is that okay? N1 links with 0 degree, N2 links with 180 degree. Is that okay? So now in that situation, look at here, what is the number of possible ways of arranging N1 links with 0 degree, N2 links with 180 degree? So again n factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial. So that this difference between this n1 and n2, that will decide this length, am I right? So can I write this one as actually, wait a second, he has written 2m, am I right? But he hasn't given that d is the length here. Can I write it as again, how to write? He could have given d is the length of each link actually. There he missed. Yeah, let me take it like this. Now look at here, 2m into d. That 2m should be equal to n1 minus n2. Can I write like this? Into d. Just like x equal to m into L, m whatever the integer which comes here, I have written n1 minus n2, isn't it? Now let me take the 2m as n1 minus n2. Is that okay? So now ultimately again you got one equation, n1 minus n2 is equal to 2m and n1 plus n2 is equal to n. Now you can write again, this is, what is this one? This is the number of possible way of taking n1 lengths at again, this number of possible arrangement of making n1 links with 0 degree, n2 links with 180 degree. So that n1 minus n2 is equal to 2m. n1 minus n2 is equal to 2m. Is that okay? If n1 and minus m2 is equal to 2m, then your total length will be 2m into d. Is that too much disturbing? Okay, it is given in the diagram. Yeah, d is the length of one link. That's correct. Okay, d is the length of one link. That is given in the diagram. Yeah. Now look at here. What is this one? This is number of possible ways of arranging n1 links with 0 degree, n2 links with 180 degree, so that n1 minus n2 is equal to 2m, so that this difference will decide this length, so that this difference gives this length. Is that okay? So this is not over, okay? It's not over. Now ultimately you should write in terms of the given one. Again, n1 and n2 are the symbols that I have defined, isn't it? What he has given 2m, m and d like that. So that's why, again using this one, look at here. So just add them. What would happen? N plus 2m whole divided by 2, that's equal to n1. Okay. N minus 2m whole divided by 2, that would be equal to n2. Now substitute that one. That's equal to n factorial divided by n plus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial, n minus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial. It's not over. Wait a second. n1 links aligned 0 degree, n2 links aligned 180 degree. So that total length is equal to this one. Am I right? Now look at here. n1 links can align 180 degree, n2 links can align 0 degree. Then also total length will be same. Am I right? Maybe the displacement, in this case, maybe the displacement towards positive x-axis, okay, net displacement. So if you just reverse them, so that the mod of this subtraction remains same, then maybe your net displacement towards negative x-axis, but it doesn't matter for length. Length we will not write it as positive or negative. He is not talking about positive length or something. Again, find the difference between displacement, whatever we talked about earlier, okay. For this possible displacement, yeah, that's correct. Again, you have n factorial divided by n1 factorial. Again, this much possible way. This can be negative also. Am I right? M can be negative also. But here we are talking about. Look at here. I better try to put mod here. I better to put mod here. Either it can be n1 minus n2 or n2 minus n1. Is that okay? So now look at here. So the one possible way is this one. Am I right? Another possible way is, look at here. The same n1 links aligned with 180 degree, n2 links aligned with 0 degree. Then also n1 minus n2, that may be negative now. Is that okay? Are you getting my point? So again, that's equal to 2m. Again, the difference will decide the total length. Am I right? That total length, again, if you start at x equal to 0 here, the net alignment, either it may be along positive x-axis or negative x-axis. Length is not sensitive to displacement. Am I right? It's just a positive length. So that's why. So again, n1 links can align with 180 degree and n2 links can align 0 degree, so that again same L is equal to 2m into d. The same length can happen. I better to put mod here. We better put mod here. Isn't it? Mod here, isn't it? So that again number of possible ways of arranging n1 links with 180 degree, n2 links with 0 degree, that's equal to again n factorial divided by n1 factorial n2 factorial, exactly the same equation, n factorial divided by n plus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial n minus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial, isn't it? Now you should add these two ways, isn't it? If you align them like this, then also you got the same length, you got length L. If you align like this, then also you got the same length, am I right? This is the possibility for, again, this is the number of possible ways of this one, this is the number of, again, this is the number of possible ways of this one, this arrangement, and when you add them, you get total number of possible ways. Adding means, again, both are same, that's twice. So that's why your answer is number of possible ways is equal to 2 times n factorial divided by n plus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial n minus 2m whole divided by 2 factorial. Factorial here. Is that okay? Try to deal with this kind of question. This is nothing, this is not even binomial distribution, isn't it? He is just talking about binomial coefficient. Permutation with repetition actually. Yeah, in case of random walk case, if you go for Reef ideas, he take this binomial coefficient by this what you call argument only. Okay, he will take binomial coefficient is number of possible ways of taking n1 step to the right and n2 step to the left. But what I did was, since we have taken that distribution, I just applied it directly. Now you have to observe that whatever the parameter which comes in our binomial distribution, okay, we call it as binomial coefficient, that is nothing but number of possible ways. So just observe that fact. This is again, this is nothing but permutation with repetition. Is that okay? Yeah. Quickly, any further questions? Again, second part is, again he has given the same idea. Second part is second part of the question, that is the first image whatever I have uploaded. Okay. So that is actually again in the limit when n is very large. Okay. So it will tend to Gaussian distribution. That's what we have seen. Am I right? So again, this is a kind of binomial coefficient. That binomial coefficient will tend to a kind of Gaussian. Okay, that's what he is trying to prove. But you don't have to do second part. Okay, just do that possible way, number of possible ways. Okay, let me take you to other problems. So in the random walk problem, why don't we use this factor 2? That's a good question, isn't it? In the random walk problem, look at here. So if you are talking about probability of getting x equal to m into L, okay, after n step, am I right? That x can be positive or negative, okay. If x, so probability for positive length, you have taken probability for positive x, you have taken it as different from probability of negative x. That's why we are not multiplying by factor 2 over there. But here positive displacement or negative displacement, that doesn't matter for a length of the whole chain, isn't it? It doesn't matter. That's why we don't so that's why the factor 2 came. Either displacement can be along positive x-axis or negative x-axis, total length does matter. Okay, but in case of random walk problem, so again we have taken x which has a sign actually. X can be positive or negative. It's a point on x-axis actually. We have taken it as differently. We have taken it as differently. That's a good question. So that's why. So again, taking n1 step to the right and n2 step to the left, that is very much different from taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left like that. I mean ulta. Either case, those are different. You will get what you call a negative of the earlier displacement. If you interchange those n1 and n2, you will get negative displacement actually. We have taken it as differently in that probability distribution. But here you should not be sensitive to what you call sign of the displacement. Is that okay? So we are talking about length, that's why number of possible ways 2 times the individual. That's a good question. I hope you got it. Quickly reply. For random walk problem, taking n1 step to the right, n2 step to the left, it is different from n1 step to the left, n2 step to the right. Suppose this gives the positive x value, this will definitely give the negative x value. M is equal to n1 minus n2, isn't it? Depending on the situation. But we need to add these two number of possible ways in case of total length, because length is a scalar quantity, so sign doesn't matter for us. So try to grab this side. That's a good question. And because in exam they may give one option without 2 factor 2, one option with factor 2, isn't it? Then obviously you may get confusion. That's why you better to clarify that one. Why that factor 2 came here? Why that factor was not there in our binomial, so in our random walk problem. Yeah. Let me take one more problem. Again, I think Princeton or Berkeley question. That is exactly that problem is there in just exam. That Ritish just sent that one. So there is a one-dimensional lattice with lattice constant A. There is a one-dimensional lattice with lattice constant A. They just try to evaluate whether you can apply or not. So look at this question. There is a one-dimensional lattice with a lattice constant A. Can I write like this? A. Now look at the question. An atom transits from a site to a nearest neighbor site in every 2 seconds. An atom transits from one site to nearest neighbor in 2 seconds. Nearest neighbor, in 2 seconds. Probability of transition to the right and left are P and Q. P is to the right, Q is to the left. You can take somewhere here as your origin. This is your x-axis. You can take this one as origin like that. What is the average position x bar of the atom? Look at here. What is average position x bar of the atom at time t is equal to n into 2 seconds. Yeah, wait a second, just write that question later, whatever you are talking about. What is the average position of the atom at this time? He is giving the answer in terms of A, P and Q. A is the quantity that he has mentioned. Is that okay? Now, how do you deal with that one? What is the average position? Now, you need total number of step, isn't it? After this time, you need what is the total number of step it has taken. Am I right? Now, if each step, it's a kind of random walk only. Okay. So, if each transistor take tau second, so n into tau second, after n into tau second, how many transistors it has done or how many step it has taken? N. Isn't it? This problem is just again just to check whether you know that one or not. Now n again he mentioned n is very much greater than 1 and all. Okay. So now look at here. So this n is the total number of steps, isn't it? After time t means after this much time, how many steps it has taken? If it takes tau second to take one step, then after n into tau second, it has taken n step. So that's why number of steps is equal to n. N is total number of steps. Is that okay? Now again, how do you write x here? X is equal to n1 minus n2 into each step of length a. Am I right? So now x mean is equal to n1 mean minus n2 mean into a. How do you write that one? N1 mean n into p minus n into q into a. Isn't it? That's equal to n into p minus q into a. That's what he's asking. Same random walk problem, but he put different words. Isn't it? Same as random walk problem. Look at here. Any question here? Try to understand the question. That's it. Again, questions are never lengthy here. Understanding, again, it's the end of solution actually. There is a one-dimensional lattice with a lattice constant A as shown. Okay, an atom transits from one side to other side, nearest neighbor side actually, one side to nearest neighbor side in tau second. He hasn't said whether again. So probability of transition to the right, that's equal to P, to the left equal to Q. Both can happen. It can transit either right to the left. And what is the average distance after this much time? You should just find what is the number of steps it has taken after this much time. And that number of steps and these probabilities, that will decide average length. Yeah, that's what I am saying. After this time, how many steps has happened? Your average length depends on how many total number of steps it has taken. Isn't it? That's what they are asking. Okay, after time t, what is the position of the atom at time t? What is the average position? What is the average position at time t? That's what they are asking. No, at t means yeah, I'm finding at t only. At a time t equal to n into tau, starting from 0 second. If you start from 0 second, at time t equal to n into tau, it has taken n step. After t means after how much time later, isn't it? You have to evaluate that one. If you are talking about after time t, are you getting my point? Again, he has given this one. Okay, this is at t only. Okay, at t it has taken n step. At t it has taken n step. After time t means just after t, where it was. Just after t is same as at t, isn't it? That's what I am talking about. Okay, yeah. Now then next question is, in the previous problem, calculate the mean square values. Calculate the mean square values. I think he has given x minus x mean whole square the mean. What is this one? This variance. 4 times npq into L square that we had. Here in place of L you have A. Again, you should take here, look at here, initially it was at origin, okay. I think he hasn't mentioned or I haven't taken while designing that one. Again, while dealing this with this question, it has started from origin. Okay, at t equal to 0, it has started from origin. Take that idea. And after this time, what happens? That's what we do, isn't it? In case of our random walk problem, we take lamp post, that is origin, and he started his journey from lamp post. I mean at the origin. Okay, take that idea. Okay, what is the average position? That's what he talked about. I think he should have mentioned that at time t equal to 0, it is at origin. Okay, yeah. Now, in the previous problem, calculate the mean square value of that one. That again I have written directly. Is that okay? This is sigma x square, sigma x the square. Am I right? That contains a square also. Remember, don't forget. That's not variance of m, that's variance of x actually, which contains L square, length square. It should be of the dimension of length square actually. Yeah, origin is given in the diagram. You should observe all of them, even though they haven't given that one in a sentence. Okay, but in the diagram he mentioned origin. Okay, yeah. Now, next question. There was one more question. Look at here, you better to write it down. Consider a system composed of very large number of distinguishable atoms, non-moving. Just listen here, okay? Large number of atoms, okay? Again, which are fixed at those points. So n number of atoms which are fixed at some point, okay? And each of atom can have only two non-degenerate energy level, okay? Each of the atom can have only two non-degenerate energy level, 0 and E. E is greater than 0, okay? 0 and E. This is non-zero, this is greater than 0. Okay, there are n atom, each atom can be in either energy is equal to 0 state or E state. I call that one a small e, okay? A kind of epsilon symbol, but let me call it as energy. So there are n atoms, okay? Each atom can be either in 0 energy state or E energy state. Is that okay? N atoms like that. So they are not moving, okay? He hasn't taken, they are not moving. Suppose if you take those atoms are spin half particles, and if you place that one in external magnetic field, it will have two possible energy. Each spin up particle in external magnetic field, it will have two possible energy when it is spin up and spin down. So similar idea, but one of the energy equal to 0. That's what he has taken. Okay. Now look at here. The question is, if the mean energy is E by n, if the mean energy per atom is E by n, capital E by n, what is the number of possible ways of getting this mean energy? Okay, what is the number of possible ways of getting this mean energy? What is the number of possible way of distributing this n atom into this level so that you get mean energy this one? That is the question. Is that okay? What is the so number of possible ways of distributing n atoms into levels 0 and E so that mean energy per atom per atom is E by n. So that mean energy per atom is E by n. This is the question. What is the number of possible ways of distributing n atom into the level 0 and E? Okay, just like a random mark. Whether atom takes this state or this state. Just like you are going to take step to the forward or backward. So he is talking about total number of possible ways, but he talked about total mean energy as E by n, isn't it? Now, how do you take total energy actually? How do you take total energy? So there may be n1 particles are here, n2 particle can be here, am I right? So that n1 plus n2 is equal to n. Then your total energy is equal to n1 into energy 0 plus n2 into energy E. Is that okay? Now, what is the total number of possible ways? That is n factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial. Is that okay? Now, look at here. Look at carefully. Actually, I think I had some other approach earlier. Yeah. I should have, I shouldn't have written capital E, small e, am I right? Because excited state I have taken, this one is small e. Now look at here, let me take the situation that n1 atoms are in this state, n2 atoms are in this state, so that your what you call mean energy per atom is E by n, okay? This is mean energy. Now if you want to take mean energy per atom, look at here E by n, okay? That's what he has defined, okay? E by n is the mean energy. Okay, mean energy per atom is E by n. What is the mean energy? That is E multiplied with total number of atoms. Okay, he is talking about capital E is the total mean energy. That's what I have applied. Total mean energy is equal to this one. Is that okay? So now look at here. I can just write. I can define n2 from this one. Look at here. What is the n2 here? n1 again it is multiplied with 0. n2 is equal to E by E. Just check it out. Once you got n2, actually you should look into options without solving this one. Okay, then only you will get the idea how to do this one. So if n2 is equal to this one, what is n1? That's equal to n minus n2. That's equal to n minus E by small e. You got n1 and n2. You can define that one. Am I right? n factorial divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, isn't it? This is the total number of possible ways. So that n1 atoms can be placed here, n2 atoms can be placed here. So that again, n1 and n2, the values are in such a way that average energy per atom is this one. Okay, if this is average energy per atom, total average energies you should multiply with total number of atoms. Energy per atom into total number of atoms, that is total average energy. That's what I have taken here. That's because of n1 particle in 0 state, n2 particle in energy E state. What is the total energy of the system then? N1 particles are in energy 0, they will not contribute to any energy. N2 particles are in this state. Okay, each of them contribute energy E, so that N2 into E is the total energy contribution by that one. Isn't it? So number of possible ways of distributing, that's equal to this one, that's equal to n factorial. What is n1? n1 is nothing but n minus E by E factorial, E by E factorial. He has given in options in terms of capital E and small e and capital N, not in terms of n1, n2. n1, n2 are the symbol that I have defined. Your answer should be in terms of whatever the symbol that he defined, whatever the quantity that he defined. Your questions will be like that always. Try to solve these problems again, okay, because very good applications. I think I can go to the next topic. and we shall try to touch to thermodynamics also. So this is nothing but, this is called as the number of possible ways of distributing this atom into this state. We call it as microstate, okay, number of microstate. Okay, so you again, microstate means again microscopically which atom is there, again which atom is in which state. That's a microscopic information, isn't it? Are you getting my point? You can, if you have n atom means you can just number, you can give a number for those atoms, which atom is in which state. Okay, so that is microscopic information actually, in the microscopic level. What is the macroscopic? Outside, what you see the energy of the total system. N is very large. You see the energy of the total system. This is macroscopic property actually, total energy. As a result of all of those individual atoms, its energy and all. Okay, so that's why we call this as microstate. Okay, number of microstate. What is the number of microstate? That is the question that he asked actually. Yeah, you can interchange these two, then also you get the same thing. Okay, maybe these two places are interchanged. That can be done. No, you should not multiply by 2, remember. If you interchange these two, total energy will change here. Is that okay? Suppose 2 particles are here, 3 particles here. What is the energy? 3e, 3 into small e. Suppose again if you interchange those population, 3 particle here, 2 particle here, energy is 2e, isn't it? Look at here. Okay, don't interchange. Again, if you interchange, you get some different energy. But as a symbol, you could have taken N2 here and 1 here. It all left to you. Yeah, it can be either N1 and N2. You can take any one. But don't think that when you interchange N1 and N2, you get the same energy. That's why you have to multiply by 2. There is one more combination which gives the same energy, not like that. Okay. That was a length which was a scalar. Okay, which has got 2 possibility. Earlier problem. But here, if you interchange the population, definitely you get the new energy, different energy. Okay. This is the first step that you have to write. Once you write this step, definitely N2 can be written in terms of this one. Quickly you will get N1. If one of them you know other one, and you can write number of possible ways. Okay. Try to grab the ideas. Okay. So that let me slowly get into the next topic in the evening or tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah, I wish to give some thermodynamical ideas also. Yeah, we shall, I think we better close this session. So again, one problem remained, and actually I couldn't give satisfactory explanation. Try to solve that one, or try to discuss in Slack. Okay, that is it is there in that multiple choice question that I have uploaded. That is problem number 1.8. Let me mention these things in the assignment. Problem number 1.8. Okay, 2 drunks start out together at the origin, each having equal probability of making a step to the left and right. Find the probability that they meet again after n step. Okay, you should take trinomial distribution. I think just like binomial distribution, I think you should take trinomial distribution. Probability that they move further apart, probability that they move with respect to each other, probability that they stay at the same distance. This is how we have to define 3 probability, and using that one we should solve that problem. Just see the solution manual. Yeah, again I think that is trinomial solution, that is again Reef approach only. That's what he has given in what you call solution manual. This question is asked in just exam directly. This question. I am trying to grab some other better approach. Yeah, here N1 can be equal to N2. Why not? Again, that can happen. Okay, wait a second. We shall discuss those kind of situations. Okay, we need to discuss entropy, maximization of entropy, and all. Yeah, try to answer those questions. We shall see. Let me discuss all of them. Let me see. Okay, if I collect some more ideas from thermodynamics, let me take this one. If that is not done, I'll take Zeeman effect. Okay, let me tell you at least 1 hour earlier. Let me tell you whether it is Zeeman effect, not Zeeman effect. We need to study selection rules of double spectra actually. Okay, yeah, we shall see. Any further questions? Yeah, you can take mean energy as E bar. Yeah, that's correct. Mean energy is equal to E bar here. But he hasn't mentioned any, what do you call? He hasn't mentioned any probabilities here, okay? Are you getting my point? He hasn't mentioned any probabilities here. If there is any mean energy, that is decided by number of atoms in the energy state, isn't it? Number of atoms, that will decide that one. So since he hasn't defined any energy, I haven't taken mean value, that's total number into probability. I haven't taken that idea, okay? Yeah, let me send you a message whether I take statistical physics or atomic spectra, okay? Atomic spectra we can discuss. I think evening atomic spectra, let me discuss atomic spectra, okay? Yeah, try to solve this problem. Initial again, you don't have much problem. Later again, you will end up with lot of problem. Try to deal with this one. Try to solve problem number 1.8 also from REEF, okay? Because that the question is directly asked in JUST exam. Yeah, we shall see in the evening.